Hello everyone, my name is Caleb Self, and this is my group presentation speech. So I want you to picture the youngest person you personally know. It can be a child, a friend, a student, really anyone you know that you have an emotional attachment to that's younger than 18. Now imagine you've just heard the terrible news that they've been prescribed with a life-threatening condition. A million thoughts might scramble through your brain at this point on how you could possibly help this person. Then you remember hearing about a group that gives kids hope to help them push on by fulfilling their wishes, the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Many people are diagnosed with life-threatening illnesses every day, with a reasonable percentage of those being children. As humans, we should want to look out for the next generation of people and support them in any way. As someone with a much younger brother, I know I would be devastated if anything ever happened to him. The Make-A-Wish Foundation helps children through the hardest challenge they could face and should be supported. While the Make-A-Wish Foundation is extremely well known, you may not know how it began, what exactly its operations entail, and how you can support it. So a good place to start with most things is usually the beginning, and that's exactly where we will start. So while you might think that such a large and omnipresent organization would have started off just as big, the story of the Make-A-Wish Foundation actually starts off relatively small. According to the International Directory of Company Histories, Make-A-Wish started out with a small group of people in Phoenix, Arizona, helping out the then 7-year-old Christopher James Gracious put a smile on his face before he died of leukemia. The original plan for the group was to give Chris just a helicopter ride, but it quickly evolved from there as the Arizona Department of Public Safety helped bring his dream to a reality. He was the first honorary DPS patrolman in the history of the state and was even given a tailor-made uniform and wings before he died the next day. Following Chris's death, those who had helped his wish come true began to see the bigger picture. These people formed together to start the beginnings of the Make-A-Wish Foundation in November 1980. Though they were still focused in the Phoenix area, they had granted 8 wishes by 1982. During this time, Make-A-Wish began to see an increase in media attention, which led to a steady rise in support. Through this, they eventually expanded to cover 70 chapters across the entirety of the United States, Guam, Puerto Rico, along with the creation of the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Canada. Now that we understand how Make-A-Wish formed, we should discuss what it does. The Make-A-Wish Foundation's primary goal is to help children with life-threatening illnesses ease their burden as they recover. According to the Encyclopedia of Death and the Human Experience, Volume 2, there are 4 main steps the organization takes to assess whether they can fulfill a wish. First, the child must be referred to Make-A-Wish by a medical professional, parent, or legal guardian. Additionally, children can also self-nominate. Secondly, the severity of the child's condition is measured to see how truly life-threatening their illness is. While Make-A-Wish does define these as critical conditions, according to a blog post made by an employee of the American Insurance Association, of the 36 conditions listed as being critical, not all of them would place a child's life in any form of jeopardy, most notably loss of sight, hearing, and speech. Make-A-Wish, however, does not cover these conditions. Next, a foundation employee meets with the child to flesh out their wish. The main goal of these volunteers is to help the child get the most out of their gift, as well as make sure no outside influence is acting upon their wish. Finally, they act upon the child's wish, and the most common wishes tend to be a trip to a Disney park at 41.5%, traveling at 19.3%, shopping sprees at 10.9%, electronics at 8.7%, and meeting a celebrity at 6.1%. Now, at this point, you may be wondering how you can support this amazing foundation. According to the Make-A-Wish Foundation website, there are 5 main ways to support: donating, fundraising, sponsorships, products and promotions, and volunteering. There are some additional events that raise significant amounts of money for the organization, such as the Ensemble Circle of Excellence Gala, which, according to Travel Age West, raised an all-time high of $259,000. In addition to events like these, Make-A-Wish also has deep connections with Disney and Macy's. Through these connections, they are able to hold partnership events such as the Grant Mark National Believe Day, which, according to Wireless News, can raise up to a total of $2 million potential dollars for the foundation. Thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, many kids have gained the will to keep fighting through their conditions. Through its history, practices, and support, the Make-A-Wish Foundation has come a long way from a small group of people whose only goal was to better the life of one person. The Make-A-Wish Foundation helps children through the hardest challenge they could face and should be supported. In the end, everyone dies. It's a fact of life that no one can deny. However, we should feel the need to prolong the lives of those that have experienced it the least. We may feel powerless to change the world around us, but as the Make-A-Wish Foundation has proved, big things can come from small places.